Before we could have plans drawn up, we needed a topographic survey done. This survey was sent to the draftsman who drew our plans. We are building our house in 3 or 4 phases as and when we can afford to do it. We are now building phase 1, which is only 63 square meters, and a single garage we will use mostly as storage. It is a small house and it's not complicated or involved at all, and therefore the draftsman charged her minimum fee. Usually architects base their fee on the average cost of building a square meter in your area. We made use of Ronika from ChamCAD. I'll add her details in the description. Once we had plans, she submitted the plans and all the relevant forms to the municipality on our behalf. We had to pay the municipal fee for plan submission of 4,454 Rand. It took the municipality approximately 2 weeks to approve our plans. We then applied for a water connection and an electricity connection. Be prepared to wait because it takes as long as it takes and there isn't much you can do to speed up the process. We had to pay 7,718 Rand for a water connection and 9,421 Rand for an electricity connection. We waited approximately 5 weeks for these 2 connections. It will obviously depend on demand and your own municipality. Next up was the NHBRC. It's short for the National Home Builders Registration Council. It's a regulatory body of the home building industry and was established in 1998 in accordance with the provisions of the Housing Consumers Protection Measures Act of 1998. Their mandate is to protect the interests of housing consumers and to ensure that builders comply with the prescribed building industry standards as contained in the Home Building Manual. There is no way to build a house in South Africa without the NHBRC issuing a certificate or exemption. They have the power to shut down a building site. There are 2 ways to go about it. You can either own a build, like we wanted to, and apply for exemption, or a registered builder must register your house. Initially, we started the application process for exemption, but it can take as long as 3 months for them to make a decision, and we did not have that time. If you have the time and you want to own a build, you can opt for this option and not pay any fees. We couldn't wait that long. Our builder registered the house. It was a relatively painless experience for us. We submitted the application with all the relevant paperwork, including a contract between us and the builder and detailed costing, among other things. There's also a portion on the form that the structural engineer you appointed for your project must complete too. It took about a week from submitting the application until our certificate was issued by the NHBRC. The cost is determined based on the value of the property plus the cost to build. It is calculated using a sliding scale. Once you have the certificate, you can legally start building. We had to pay the NHBRC 6,049 Rand 54 cents. In total, for the topographic survey, the plans, the connections, the NHBRC, we paid 40,185 Rand and 4 cents for all the relevant paperwork and connections so we could start building. We still have to pay the structural engineer who did inspections at certain stages of the building process and the sewage connection fee. These costs are not included here.